All right, let's jump right into this fast-paced explainer. Today, we're walking down the coldest and, let's be real, probably the most confusing aisle in the entire grocery store, the dairy section. Whether you're grabbing a gallon of milk for your morning coffee, some yogurt for breakfast, or just picking up some cheese for a weekend charcuterie board, you've absolutely felt the price pinch lately. We are going to decode exactly what is going on behind the high price of organic dairy, and we're going to do it quickly. It's the exact question we all ask when we're standing right there in front of those glass stores. You look to your left, you look to your right, and you see that organic milk can literally cost double the price of conventional milk. We aren't just talking about a few extra cents anymore. It is a massive premium. So is this huge jump in price just some pastoral marketing fantasy designed to drain your wallet, or is it an actual biological necessity for your health? Okay, let's dive into this, because your sticker shock is totally validated. Deciding between organic and conventional dairy is a major budget decision for millions of households right now. But to really figure out if organic is worth it, we've got to look beyond the carton. We need to unpack the hidden structural differences driving that price tag. All right, Section 1, the chemical divide, hormones and antibiotic risks. And this brilliantly illustrates the foundational difference here. It all comes down to really strict agricultural regulations. On one side, conventional dairy farming in the U.S. allows the use of synthetic growth hormones, specifically stuff like RBGH, to artificially boost milk production in the cows. Actually, quick side note, Canada has completely banned RBGH over animal health concerns, but antibiotic practices still differ wildly everywhere. Conventional cows are often treated with routine preventative antibiotics just to manage infections caused by high-density living conditions. On the flip side, certified organic dairy strictly prohibits both synthetic growth hormones and routine antibiotics, period. So why does that strict prohibition actually matter for you? Well, because those chemical residues can trace their way right back into our food supply. Health authorities point out that relying so heavily on antibiotics in conventional farming is actively contributing to the rising global crisis of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. By going organic, you're minimizing your exposure to endocrine disruptors, and you're preserving your own immune integrity. Avoiding those routine antibiotics is an absolutely massive selling point for the organic label. Moving on to Section 2, the pasture payoff, a supercharged nutritional profile. See, by law, organic certification requires cows to spend a mandatory minimum of 120 days a year out grazing on open, green pastures. And because they're eating real grass, the actual molecular structure of their milk fat completely changes. Which brings us to this 60% figure. It's huge. Peer-reviewed research shows that organic milk contains up to 60% more anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids compared to conventional milk. That is a staggering nutritional upgrade in literally every single glass. And it doesn't even stop at omega-3s. Organic dairy also packs significantly higher amounts of conjugated linoleic acid, or CLA. That's a really powerful fatty acid linked to heart health and metabolic support. When you consume dairy from pasture-grazed cows, you are quite literally shifting your dietary fat intake away from inflammation and moving it straight towards cellular repair. Oh, and there's a really surprising longevity factor at play here too. Have you ever noticed that your organic milk seems to last way longer in the fridge? Well, that's because of UHT, or ultra-pasteurization. Since organic milk is a premium product, it moves a bit slower through the supply chain. So to make sure it doesn't spoil before it even reaches you, it goes through this special heating process. The result? It sits in your fridge far longer without going bad, which honestly means significantly less food waste for your budget. Now for Section 3, the fat binding rule, your dairy action plan. Look, we've got to acknowledge reality here. With inflation doing what it's doing, switching literally every single dairy product you buy to organic can stretch a grocery budget to its absolute breaking point. So, how do we navigate this aisle elegantly without going completely broke? Well, so the crucial point is this biological rule right here. Chemical residues, pesticides, and hormones naturally bind to fat molecules, meaning the higher the fat content in the dairy product, the higher the potential concentration of those unwanted compounds if it's conventional. So here is exactly how you turn that into a practical strategy. Spend your money on organic for the high-fat items. We're talking whole milk, butter, heavy cream, full-fat yogurt. Since toxins bind to fat, you want these specific items to be as clean as possible. But where you can safely save your money is on conventional, low-fat items. If the budget is tight, buying conventional skim milk or low-fat cheese carries a much lower risk of chemical exposure simply because the fat has been removed. Now, if the official certified organic sticker is still just a bit too pricey, there is a fantastic middle ground. Keep an eye out for smart alternatives, like conventional labels that say grass-fed or pasture-raised, or better yet, check out your local small-scale dairy farms. A lot of local farmers follow incredibly clean practices, but just skip paying for the expensive official organic certification. You basically get all the nutritional benefits without that massive markup. Finally, Section 4, the verdict. More than just a label. Because dairy is a highly bioavailable food source, meaning your body absorbs its components super fast, upgrading it is a direct investment in your health. Plus, it's an objective step towards supporting superior animal welfare and a much cleaner ecosystem. I really want to leave you with this powerful takeaway directly from our source material today. If you change just one thing, make it your high-fat dairy. It's honestly just an elegant, highly effective way to flood your body with healthier fats. Which brings us to our final thought. The true cost of your food isn't just measured at the cash register, It's measured at the cellular level. So, are you ready to upgrade the fat in your fridge? Or will you keep paying the hidden biological cost of cheap dairy? Next time you're walking down that cold aisle, you are going to know exactly what to look for. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and happy grocery shopping.